We're going on a cruise, that is virtually. I found some old field notes from a trip that I took over 10 years ago. I just got so excited. I knew I wanted to do a video about this and share it. It's a pelagic birding trip. Pelagic, something to do with the sea, the birds that live at sea most of their lives. They come ashore to nest. Some of them nest on jetsam and flotsam out there. But anyway, it was one of the most adventurous trips, most exciting field trips I've ever taken. And I'm glad now, a decade later, that I took such good notes and I'm able to share it with you. I know you're going to like it. If you agree, hit that thumbs up button. If you know someone else who might like this, share it across your social media. If you enjoy nature content because it relaxes you, you learn something from it, go ahead and subscribe to the Bird Garden YouTube channel. As always, thanks for watching and welcome aboard. Get ready to set sail for the high seas and learn about some of these amazing birds that I saw while I was out there. From the Naturalist Notebook, Pelagic Birding Trip, November 14th, 2010, out of Ponce de Leon Inlet, Florida. Despite predictions of rough conditions and high swells, our adventurous party of 54 birders set out of Ponce de Leon Inlet at 6 a.m. As we rounded the turn to enter the inlet, we were pleasantly surprised. The inlet was not nearly as rough as we had expected. Soon we were on the open ocean and the conditions were far better than expected. The seas had fallen considerably from the day before and had become just large swells with a very long period between. This made for easy bird viewing conditions. We stopped off at a shrimp boat and chummed heavily to attract the mass of gulls to our boat instead of theirs. And for the next 10 hours, we had a large contingent of gulls following us, including herring, laughing, ring-billed, great black-backed, and lesser black-backed gulls. In addition, we had one unusually pale gull that looked like a possible Thayer's gull. At 17 miles out, we found a great shearwater. It posed calmly for us on the water before it took off. There was a steady presence of sandwich terns and several royal terns. Occasional common loons appeared on our way out. Soon we began to meet singles and small groups of common terns. Next, we began to encounter a steady assortment of pelagic species. Pomeranian Jaegers began to make repeated appearances, including 2 dark morph adults that were spectacular. Leaders, Bob Wallace, Roberto Torres, and Mitchell Harris up on the bow found 2 distant parasitic Jaegers. Leader, Matt Hafner, found a juvenile long-tailed Jaeger off the stern. That made a grand slam of all 3 Jaegers for the trip. We all went wild when a black-capped petrel made an appearance. This was a very late date for us to find a black-capped, but shortly, 2 more black-capped petrels came up behind the boat, and one came close along the starboard side and gave us excellent looks. Magnificent frigate birds graced the boat a number of times, including 2 birds at once. A juvenile sooty tern cruised in fairly close. A Manx shearwater stayed close by for a short time. Corey's shearwaters were scarce at first, but then began to appear in increasing numbers until they became constant companions. We were able to get a close look at a lone red phalarope. Occasional Audubon shearwaters were visible from the bow, but they stayed far away. A juvenile Bridled Tern sat on a floating container and allowed a nice close approach. We were all lucky enough to see a number of loggerhead turtles. We released 19 loggerhead hatchling and 1 green turtle hatchling. These were brought along by Michael Brothers, the trip coordinator and director of the Marine Science Center. The hatchling turtles had been collected as washback baby sea turtles and entered the Sea Turtle Rehabilitation Hospital. We also saw quite a number of Atlantic spotted dolphins. Just as we were coming back into the inlet, a small flock of sea ducks flew across the mouth of the inlet. They were probably black scoters. It was a great end to a spectacular day on the ocean. That was my story of a pelagic birding trip. I feel so good just having revisited that account. You know, the pelagic species, the ones who live at sea, you rarely get a chance to see from shore. So it was worth the big effort. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure and hit that like button. And if that's the kind of content you like, if nature relaxes you, you're able to learn from it, you enjoy viewing nature type video content, go ahead and subscribe to the Bird Garden YouTube channel. We're going to continue to make content just like that. If you know anybody else who might enjoy that kind of content, please share it across your social media. That's how the channel grows. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to leave you now with a musical montage of a compilation of my coastal birding forays with some fantastic music I think you're going to like. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next one.